South Africa is watching and cheering up the IEC crucify the EFF with low numbers. Nobody expected the EFF to perform so poorly. Where are the thousands of people that were cheering for Julius Malema from city to city? Where is the student command that loved the EFF so much? Where are those people that the EFF protected against the racist attack in schools? Many people say Julius Malema is being punished for the open border. Julius Malema is being punished for wanting to integrate South Africa with the rest of Africa. Now Julius Malema, wherever he is, he understands why people say you will have to pay a big price for being a Pan-Africanist.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Comrades, this continent of Africa must be one. I hear you saying, he says, the borders must be open. The borders must be opened. Because borders are opened for white people. When there is a white person from Mozambique who can't even speak English, you welcome them. When there is a brother from Mozambique into Nelspruit, you call them names. Yet you don't call white people names. There is no Mozambique.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host, King 053, Mr. Easy Imali Enengi Nengi. And we're back at it again with another one. With a heavy heart, I have to address this issue of the EFF. The EFF is not performing poorly, but the EFF is not performing the way the EFF expected the EFF to perform. The EFF is getting beaten from pillar to post by the DA. The MK party, expectedly so, is beating them obviously in Mpumalanga and KwaZulu-Natal. And looks like they might edge them also in Gauteng. This is not what the EFF envisioned when they went for that campaign season, that 3 months away from their families, traveling city to city, town to town, village to village, trying to get more voters. But people, mainstream media, kept on pushing one narrative, the open borders that the EFF was speaking about. It was later on when Mbuyisani Ndlozi said we're going to integrate with the rest of Africa gradually. That word gradually came a little bit too late for the people that were already judging Julius Malema for saying there are criminals coming into our country from Lesotho, criminals coming from Zimbabwe, criminals coming from Namibia, and criminals coming from Nigeria. And you are saying we must integrate and love these people. You have heard statements of South Africans saying, we will never vote for Julius Malema. Let the Nigerian drug lords vote for him. It broke my heart to see the numbers that the EFF is coming up with now. Pan-Africanism comes at a price. African people don't understand just how much colonized they are. Decolonizing a black mind is not easy. Telling a black brother to love another black brother from another mother in another province is not easy, especially when it is South Africans. I want to speak to you guys today about what this means not only for Pan-Africanism, but what this means also for Julius Malema and the mighty EFF. For Pan-Africanism, first of all, we as African people, we have always said we don't want the parties that are funded by our colonizers, the Oppenheimers, all of those families. But when a person speaks against them, we also punish him in the form of Julius Malema. Why is it that Julius Malema is punished on the polls? Can we suspect some rigging of votes? Because every event that the EFF had was a success beyond measure. You guys saw what they did at the FNB Stadium. You saw what they did at Moses Mabhida. Yes, it was not full to capacity to overflow, but you saw what they did to Peter Mokaba Stadium. You saw every place where they went and met people. People were happy to see and celebrate Julius Malema as their hero, who's going to unite Africans. Number one. Number two, you saw the Student Command Council of the EFF, the Youth League of the EFF, making sure that the EFF wins colleges and varsities. Are you trying to tell me that all of those people, all of a sudden, all of a Sunday, decided that they're not going to vote for the EFF? All of those first-time voters, all of those people that were celebrating Julius Malema so much. Julius Malema's party is the only party that stood up when there was a racist attack against a child that was discriminated for the texture of her hair. Julius Malema's party was the only party that fought the racism in the Free State. Julius Malema was the only party that was fighting racism in supermarkets, that was fighting for workers in supermarkets. Julius Malema's party was the party that showed also that it's not only the Pakistanis and the Somalis that sell expired food, but also the supermarkets also sell expired food. Julius Malema's party went from country to country in Africa, in Kenya, in Ghana, being celebrated as an African political party that is trying to unite Africans. But the question is, do Africans want to unite? Let me place this question better. Do South Africans want to unite with Africa? The answer is absolutely not. Pan-Africanism in Africa will always suffer. When you speak about the land, you will suffer. When you speak about the farms, you will suffer. When you speak about the minerals and the mines, you will suffer. The EFF is learning this now. How the EFF is going to come back from this is going to show us what type of character, the quality of character of leadership Julius Malema has in his camp. I have always said Julius Malema is gradually changing each and every year, not in a bad way, in an aging way. The Julius Malema we have here in 2024 of 43 years old is not the same Julius Malema of 2019, 2017 that kicked out Jacob Zuma, the Julius Malema that fought Pala, the Julius Malema that supported the Fees Must Fall. It's not that Julius Malema. This is an aging Julius Malema. And I said, if you want a Julius Malema that will unite Africa, this is the Julius Malema that you vote for right now. We saw in Senegal, Senegalese voting for a 44-year-old youngest elected president in Africa, Faye, Ediamane Faye, from Senegal. We saw Burkina Faso, the General Ibrahim Traoré, being the best president in Africa right now, developing Burkina Faso from the ground up. We saw the movement of the old politicians moving away and the young coming in. I'm talking about Liberia, Josh Ware. I'm talking about all of these political parties that are seeing that the young people have come. I'm talking about Usman, the Prime Minister of Senegal. The times were shifting, but it looks like SADC is always left behind, led by old men that don't understand Pan-Africanism. But the Botswanan president understands Pan-Africanism. He opened his border on the left-hand side for Namibia. He opened his borders on the right-hand side for Zimbabwe to say, if you want to come in our country, you don't need a passport for 90 days. Integration with other African countries. Zimbabweans don't flock to Botswana because Botswana says you can come in for free. Zimbabweans know where home is. But Julius Malema is being punished for speaking about unifying Africa. Number one, for the EFF, they're going to reflect very much. Remember, the EFF is still going to do better than that 10% they got in 2019. They're still going to do better. They're going to land, probably by the looks of things, they're going to land somewhere in the 15% range, close to 20, or just somewhere there, 15, 14, 16, 17, somewhere there. It's an improvement, but it's not an improvement that the EFF wanted. Now the people of the ANC and the people of the DA, the people of the PA are going to make jokes about Julius Malema, that we went for the elections. People did not vote for your open border nonsense. By that, there will be meaning that people did not vote for your African unifying dream. Africa must not unify. Africa must not choose its own school syllabus. Africa must continue to speak colonized languages like English. Africa must continue to speak French. Africa must continue not to own its minerals. Africa must leave its colonizers to continue to mine the land, to steal the pregnant minerals out of our ground, to continue to farm in our lands while we are poor. 80+% of the land in South Africa still belongs to the minority. And the minority cannot vote the majority out. But the problem is the majority is divided. I'm going to come and break down the numbers of the EFF for you guys. But I just wanted to say, South Africa, you have missed a great opportunity to elect a young leader, who speaks about Pan-Africanism. South Africa, you have missed a great opportunity to elect a young leader that speaks about taking back the land, taking back the farms. This is going to be one of the regrets that history will judge us with. We might not have another leader like Julius Malema in our lifetime. Maybe another one will come when we are no longer here. But in our lifetime, we might not have another leader like Julius Malema. And this opportunity we have missed. I honestly don't think Julius Malema will be the same person 2029, health-wise, radical-wise, Pan-Africanism-wise. I think he will be a softer version of himself in 2029. They have chosen not to take funding from white monopoly capitalists and still competed with the mighty ANC when it comes to campaigning. The EFF was everywhere. But the IEC, I don't want to say in a rigged manner, punished the ANC, the EFF, but I don't believe wholeheartedly these numbers that are coming from the ground. But if the EFF does not complain, I'm not going to be the person that complains. I'm going to take the results, and I think if the EFF accepts the results, we should all accept the results that the people of South Africa did not choose Pan-Africanism. That is why you see Azapo suffering. That's why you see the PAC suffering. All the African movements in the political space are suffering because people are not for uniting Africa. You guys can go in the comment section and tell me if I'm wrong, all right? But that's how I feel. That's how I feel. You don't understand the integration border system. You just hear the word open border and your mind goes crazy. We have explained it so many times that to open borders, you have to do it gradually. You have to unify the police departments of the two countries that are opening the borders so that the police can work this side and that side. You have to unify the Department of Health so that one country does not carry the burden of other countries. You have to make sure that you unify the minerals of the two countries. This is what open borders gives you. We go to Zimbabwe, we mine the gold, we build the hospitals in Zimbabwe, in South Africa. Zimbabweans don't need to cross for health care. We improve the health system of Zimbabwe. In the meantime, gaining. Lesotho is giving South Africa water. We need to give South Africa something back. Yes, we are procuring the water, but what if Lesotho decides to shut the water from South Africa? Johannesburg will be a sewage. It will stink. We need to work with Botswana. They need to show us how they have dealt with the Bears, because the Bears have milk and finished Kimberley, taken all the diamonds, there's nothing left. We need to work with Namibia. We need to work with Eswatini and Mozambique. But if you have such a dream of uniting SADC, the colonizers will punish you. They will make sure you don't get the votes. They will make sure that they try to keep you away from the people, just like they did with Jacob Zuma. But they have failed with Jacob Zuma. He's shocking them in KwaZulu-Natal. So all I'm going to say is we have missed the opportunity. Whatever the EFF is going to do, maybe the ANC might choose them for a coalition. That is still an option. Maybe the ANC will choose not to work with the DA or with Mkhonto and choose the EFF. That will also be another great thing. But that is up to the ANC, because the ANC is still going to be the person that is going to choose. Looks like the PA is going to be amongst the kingmakers. It's tough. It's politics. It's nice. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Go in the comment section. Tell me what you think about Julius Malema's party performing not poorly, but not as excellent as they thought they would. Where do you think those numbers of the people went? Where are the people of the EFF? Bagopi. Did they not come out? I saw them in queues. I saw them. I went around. I spoke to the EFF people. I saw them. But it looks like it was not meant to be this time around. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.